All right, guys, let me just share my screen for you. Perfect. Awesome. I think I can throw that over there. Perfect. Cool, guys. All right. So I don't know who was with me last week. I am doing this little series, Becoming Your Own Boss, BYOB, because everyone that has started in Archer and started in Evolution, you were kind of thrown into this role of becoming your own boss, setting your own schedule. And it can be pretty stressful if you think about it, going from a 9 to 5 job or whatever hours you were working with your W-2 to actually, being able to show up for yourself. So last week I did a little discussion on habits. We're going to touch on it again today. I'm going to try to get through everything. It's usually shorter than an hour, so that way we have a little time to chat afterwards, talk about some podcast and book recommendations. I am going to get started though by asking everyone what success means to you. I know that everyone is their own boss technically right now. Like, we do have our own network. We have our own, group of people that we rely on, our mentors, our gold and our platinum consultants, and of course our higher up leaders as well. So what does success mean to you? Can anybody drop that in the chat, and I will observe on my computer right over here. The luxuries of working from wherever you want, right? So how do we define our success? Do we think it's money? Do we think it's being able to have that free time? Do we think it's able to, like, the ability to make our own decisions and do what we want? Yep, setting and achieving your goals. Absolutely. Being able to clearly define the goals that we want and, taking steps and making those goals happen for us. Financial stability, yes. Work-life balance, absolutely, Liz. So there's definitely a struggle, if you've come from any other corporate job or anything, having that work-life balance, trying to fit certain things into certain slots. Basically, you only have this amount of time to eat before you have to go to your next thing and take out your dogs and be able to take care of yourself. So there are definitely some struggles with work-life balance. So being able to do that successfully is a great success, actually. Accomplishing your goals until you find something else to do. Yes, definitely. Being able to stick to your to-do list, being able to, be more gentle with yourself, and being able to feel accomplished at the end of the day, to be honest with you. So success to me is kind of like you guys were saying, accomplishing your goals. Like, I know that I have a goals list that I have right at the top of my stairs. So I see it every single day when I'm going downstairs to take my dogs out, get ready for the day, of all the goals that I want to accomplish, some positive things, like things to get me motivated. So success to me is accomplishing your goals. Like, you have to have a clear, set out plan for yourself. Basically, I want to do X, Y, and Z before this time, making them attainable goals that you do have to work for. Like, it's not going to be easy. You don't just, become a boss overnight, and you don't just wake up and kick ass every night. So so in corporate America, productivity is key, right? So any corporation that you have worked for, do work for, I'm not sure if you guys are completely full-time in Archer, but corporate America, they run off of productivity. Like, there is a trade between, basically, like, time is a currency. So they are paying you for your time, right? So in order for them to pay you, you have to be productive. So the higher the productivity, the larger the profit is going to be, right? So that's why, they have a certain amount of hours, a certain list of things that you need to do in order to accomplish their goals, but they're not necessarily your goals, right? Like, I'm sitting right in front of Dunkin' Donuts right now. Like, I'm pretty sure that most of those people don't want to be in there setting out donuts and making coffees all day. But that's what you got to do. That's what you got to do. So we're in more of a unique situation where we are able to set different kinds of goals, because we all chose this path, right? To be more successful, to redefine what success is for us, and to accomplish those bigger goals, so that we're able to fire our boss, be able to become our own boss, be productive. What do you do in life to be productive? I mean, making to-do lists, right? I'm sure everyone has to-do lists. They have their schedules set for every single day, with the Zoom meetings, or, if you have kids, if you need to take your kids to appointments or sports, or, music lessons, things like that. Being able to be as productive as you can be, without without taking too much away from yourself. We all need time to rest, which I think is super important, and we'll touch on later, actually scheduling time for yourself to rest. Um, so is there anything that you can improve in your life? Anything that you can kind of because it feels like we're doing a lot, right? Um, Anybody in the chat box, if you want to put anything like you think you can improve on something that you have to do a lot of social media posts. I think it's silly, so I kind of have that mentally. Can work on anything along those lines. Do you want to just drop that in the chat box? If anybody's still out there, anybody out there? Or if you're multitasking, that's totally cool too. I know that people probably have prospects on this 12 o'clock call. If not, I'll just keep rolling on, and I'll hit the chat box when I see it next. So in general, we all have our routines, rituals, and rhythms. Some of them that could be negative, some of them that could be positive. They do have a certain power over us. I know that when we were talking about habits, some habits are good, some habits are bad, but they all have a purpose in our life. You wake up, you brush your teeth, you shower, take your dogs out every Sunday. Maybe you go to the grocery store. That's a habit or a ritual that you're used to. So there are some negative habits, though, that keep us from becoming the best version of ourselves. So what I mean by that, especially stepping into a leadership role, like you're leading yourself, essentially, like you're your own boss, you're in charge of yourself. And I don't know if anyone has ever tried to be in charge of themselves, but I'm a very difficult employee. I'm the employee of the month, but I'm also a difficult employee. It depends on the day. But these patterns, these negative patterns, are easy to fall into. You can fall into a negative habit loop. You can fall into negative rituals, like things that aren't helpful for you, for your business, things like that. Things like doubting yourself. I don't know if anyone's ever doubted themselves, about this business, about anything, life in general. Procrastinating, spending time with people, even though you know that they're not good in your life, they're not helpful to you. So breaking that pattern is something that is kind of difficult to think about. It's kind of hard to do, breaking that habit loop. But that is truly how you can become successful, is trying to recognize those patterns and realize that, maybe we do need to make a couple improvements. Maybe that will increase our productivity, and then we can accomplish our goals. Oh, gotcha, guys. See how that works. So in order to break these patterns, we do have to understand a few things. Is anyone afraid of being judged? Who's afraid of being judged? I know I am. I don't like when people judge me. I don't like the idea of, walking into a room and being afraid. I don't know if anyone else has ever had that feeling, or, you're posting on social media constantly, right? To your family or your friends, or maybe people you haven't seen in a really, really long time. like high school, college, anybody that you've ever friended on Facebook or Instagram or Snapchat or whoever, our life is out there, not necessarily for people to judge, but it does happen. And that can cause a lot of fear. That can cause a lot of embarrassment, insecurities. I don't know if anyone has ever had that travel FOMO. I don't, I've had the fear of missing out so many times looking on Instagram, because that seems to be the place where everyone posts their really cool travel pictures. And you're thinking, wow, what am I doing sitting here when I could be there? So it's kind of trying to understand that it's not something that's negative towards you. It's, you're maybe insecure about where you're at in your life, and trying to understand, not to let others dictate your life with that judgment, that fear of being maybe misunderstood or misrepresented. Some people, it's not everyone's cup of tea. Whatever I post, maybe not not everyone's gonna like it, but it is social media and you connect with your people. Same with, any interaction in person. You're going to interact with people, and you want to be liked by people, right? That's the nature of our business. That's the nature as humans for us. We want to be generally liked. We don't want anyone to dislike us or, bully us or make fun of us. We want to be the best person we can be, right? I don't know about you guys, but I definitely do. So these people that come into our lives that are judging us, that are maybe saying negative things, talking behind your back, posting stuff on social media. Do they really hold any relevance in your life? Are you letting other people shape your thoughts due to this judgment? Like this judgment that causes so much fear and embarrassment, and you start feeling insecure. You start feeling, like maybe you should stop doing what you're doing and not be yourself as much. This person that's judging you, or these people who you think are judging you, again, everyone is different. Everyone has their own thoughts specific to their own world. Everyone sees the world through a different set of eyes. So they're not going to make the same choices. They might not have the same qualities that you have or that you look for in people that you want to be in your circle. So in general, insecurities, they can control your mind. We judge ourselves a lot, more than you think that we do. If you ever think about it, truly, we're our harshest critic. I know you probably heard that a million times before, but we try to hold ourselves to a high standard, try to be the best person that we can be. The best advice, the best quote that I've seen through all my research in this, don't be trapped by the result of other people's thinking. So basically, if other people are trying to judge us, and it really is going to shape our thinking, but don't be trapped by it. Don't get stuck in that place where, oh, well, I'm not going to do this. I'm not going to, post on social media. I'm not going to go to this event. I'm not going to do this because you're afraid of being judged. So understanding ourselves first can actually lead really small changes that can make us into a better person. So I will get on to the topic of the hour, which is 1% better. So this is a mentality that I adopted at the beginning of the new year. I'm going through some personal changes in my life, and I really needed something. I'm not a really big religious person. I'm not a really big, go out and find a hobby and, do something. I just wanted to start really, really small. So the best way that I can put it, if you think about it, every single day, if you choose to become 1% better as a person, as a friend, as a family member, as a business owner, as an employee, whatever the case may be. The most important quote that I have seen in regards to this, there is so much out there about the 1% rule. Small, seemingly insignificant improvements, when done consistently over time, can yield staggering results. So if you really think about it, 1%, it's not a lot, right? 1% could be the smallest task, the very, very smallest task. I know that we've talked about habits. and changing habits and creating habits, that's more of a long-term goal, basically. This 1% better concept is more of a short-term goal, something that you can wake up every day and try, let's try this. And if it didn't work, we're going to try something else. But the end goal is to become 1% better as a person every single day. So that could be, making really small changes to avoid overwhelm, to simplify your life, just picking one thing that you can do to improve slightly. I know that last week I talked a lot about habits, a lot about morning routines, waking up, that kind of thing. So I'll give you an example of one of my 1% better things that I like to do. So in the morning, my 1% better is I like to drink a glass of water and I like to open my curtains because I think, opening your curtains, you're saying hello to the day, you're waking up your body. That's the 1% better. So I feel recharged. I feel like, the world is still out there, even though I'm inside working, of course, but it at least gives me the illusion that there is still a world out there. So those small little changes, like I'm sure that you guys can think of something that you can do or try each and every day to try to become a little bit better. And then if you think about it, by the end of the month, if you consistently keep with these things, you're 30% better as a person, which can just continue to roll and roll and roll and roll throughout the rest of months, years, however long you decide to, try different things and set that routine. So this is the smaller concept behind forming habits and changing habits. Next, we're going to talk about scheduling, because 1% better basically to me is kind of the things that you forget about, like drinking water and, making sure that you eat something. It's kind of hard to, you got to schedule that stuff into your day sometimes. If you're so busy, you're going to forget some things. So like the most important things are never urgent until, you realize that you're thirsty or you're hungry or you're tired. It's important to schedule them. This is my time to do this. It's really important, especially to put them on your schedules. I know that I write a daily schedule out the night before. Like when I go to bed, that's just my evening ritual when I'm done working for the day. So I know what my next day looks like. So that way in the morning I wake up, I know exactly what's going on. And I even schedule walking my dog. I schedule feeding my dogs. I want to know that, this is the time that I have allotted to do this. I don't want to be in a rush, and I want to be the most productive that I can be, which in turn is going to make me a more successful person. It's going to make me a better person, a better friend, a better daughter, a better, family member, all of the above. So scheduling those little things, actually it can make a really, really, really big difference. Like I'm saying, 1%, just one small thing. All right. Small changes lead to big results. So like I have been saying in general, instead of trying to make radical changes in a short amount of time, and I'm sure we're all familiar with that. I mean, how many people have tried to set a New Year's resolution, and how did that work out for everyone? You're going to start the new year, you're going to go to the gym every single day, you're going to start this diet, and you're going to go keto, and you're going to you're going to drop all the tasty things in life, right? You're going to drastically change your routine, and oh boy, that does not work out, does it? There's a lot of people that does not work out for. God bless you if it does. So making those small, slight improvements will be able to enact gradual change. So those manageable tasks, like I was saying, I mean, they can be anything that you can think of, anything that you can think of that can slightly improve yourself. So that is essentially going to create a chain reaction. It's going to boost you to be the most successful person that you can be. So let's think about for a minute, some areas that you'd like to improve. I know if you have a notebook or anything around, jot down some ideas. I'm always around if you guys want to chat about this anymore. I know I have some other Zoom meetings upcoming as well. You're welcome to share those in the next meeting as well. So let us talk about most important, essential, and helpful tasks. Right? So we put our important tasks, our essential tasks, excuse me. We put those first, our meetings and all that kind of stuff, and then we schedule in our small things. But I mean, you really should kind of forgive yourself if you don't get to everything in a day. I mean, you get 24 hours to kind of work it out. And if it doesn't work, then it doesn't work. We are creatures of habit. If you have certain things that you enjoy doing, we're gonna resist change. Like if you make too big of a change. I know I don't like a lot of change. That's why making it small, gradual, and manageable really kind of helps you out in the long run, because eventually you don't need to even think about it anymore. It becomes that habit. It becomes that positive habit. So you really do have the ability to change, to create qualities in yourself that you're proud of. For example, complimenting people. I know that is such a nice feeling, when it feels good when someone else compliments you, right? So maybe spreading that love, making that tiny change, making that an important part of your day. And then, you made someone else feel good, you made you feel good, everyone's feeling good. So we're just spreading that positivity all over the place. So creating those qualities, that's just a small change. You can really create your own self, your own version of yourself. And the same with your business too. You can really do whatever you want. It's a completely open and flexible thing where, you can make videos, you can do Facebook lives, you can, post reels of you doing silly stuff, or, this is what I made for dinner and here's the recipe. It comes from Italy, that kind of thing. It's really just a complete open book. So you're able to create within yourself and have that creative ability to share yourself with the world. So every moment of every day, every situation, every person we encounter really is an opportunity to become a better version of ourselves. Every day, try to compare yourself to the day before. Say, you know what? Yesterday I did this, but today I'm doing this. Wow, I feel that small change happening. I'm making decisions a little bit differently. I'm trying to, improve on my schedule, on my Facebook postings, on, how consistent am I with talking to my accountability partner, my mentor, asking questions, showing up to trainings, that kind of thing. It's very easy to compare yourself, but in a loving way. Be gentle with yourself. If you didn't do something the day before, I'm sure you'll get it the next day, right? Something like that. All right. On to the next. We are going to talk about learning, adapting, and applying. So what I have found is that it is very helpful as a person, as a business owner, to learn constantly. You have to learn constantly. I mean, we're in the travel business. There's always something to learn. There's always, a different way to do things, a new way to do things, new articles, new locations, hotels, packages, new people that join our team, learning about them, learning about, what they may need, the things that they might bring to the table. So falling in love with learning, and being a positive person, really just trying to be the best person you can be on a super epic scale. When you slowly learn about yourself, you're learning about, the things that make you tick, the things that are going to help you become a better person, a better business owner. Just in general, the more you learn, the better you're going to be. I highly recommend, reading some books. Even if you just read, I don't know, 5 pages a day, a chapter a day, if you read travel articles, if you take some, training courses, you take some certification courses, that kind of thing, just constantly learning, because it does help you improve. You don't have to stress yourself out and learn everything in one day. It's going to take time, all those certifications that they have listed, right? It takes time if you guys have been through them. Um, and we will talk about as well our adapting skills. So life happens, we know that, right? Um, you gotta kind of bob and weave with all the punches that are coming your way. Um, I mean, adapting skills is definitely very important as a business owner. Being self-employed, taking care of yourself. You got to adapt because life around you is changing constantly. You're changing. If you're learning, if you're continuing to try to become a better person every single day, you're gonna have to adapt to some things, right? Maybe it's your sleep schedule. Maybe it's what you can and can't do throughout the week. It's putting yourself towards those goals that you set for yourself. Let's see, how much leeway are you willing to give yourself as well? Are you willing to, like, you can have that adaptability, but are you willing to be kind and be gentle to yourself with the adaptation process? You don't have to stick to a very strict, like, military style schedule every single day. That would be very tedious and very tiring, as I'm sure most people who have been trained in the military are. That's a lot of work. That's hard work. But adapting to the things that are thrown our way is just something we're going to have to do as travel agents and as people. You're going to have clients that reach out to you and they want a certain amount of things, or they want a certain budget, and you're going to have to adapt. You're going to have to roll with those punches that they're throwing your way and try to really do the best that you can, which will lead us on to applying all these things. So, applying it in your business, I mean, that's pretty self-explanatory. Applying your learning, applying your adaptability skills to your business and to yourself. So, pretty much everything that you learn, you can apply it to yourself, apply it to others. Basically becoming that best person that you can be. So working on those 1% goals and habits that you're going to learn how to do, you're going to adapt to all the behavior around you, you're going to apply those habits. It's going to make life easier. So by the end of the month, you're going to be this really smart, adaptable, applicable person. All right, let us get to the last little thing I have for you, which I like to call mini habits. That's another way I like to think about that 1% of yourself that you're trying to get better every day. So if you think about for a second, the best of the best in the world, people who, athletes who train for the Olympics, chefs, like really top star Michelin chefs, business leaders, they all have better habits. They are really good at making decisions. Granted, they may be hard decisions, and they are able to create these habits for themselves so that they can become the best person. I was watching a video in preparation for this about the United Kingdom's, like, bicycle club, and how that they have never won an Olympic race, how they had, they weren't really the best. They weren't really the top of anything. They hadn't won any gold medals. They were kind of just there. They would compete. So they finally brought in this coach who brought in the idea of gradual improvement and creating these more healthy, better habits that you can have. They did a lot of research. They learned how to, the best jerseys that you can wear, the best tires that you need to use because they're lighter, the best training methods, the best diet for, they tested within the team to see, who is the most productive, like what can we learn? How can we adapt to this? They ended up winning a gold medal. They had this goal set for oh, within 5 years, we'll be able to win a gold medal. They did it within 3, just by making tiny improvements and doing it in such a way that they were smart. They were able to adapt to the environment around them, um, to basically the other teams. They were able to train in a different way. They ate differently. They did everything not completely different, but they took it one step at a time. They ended up winning within 3 years, which is pretty impressive. And then for the following 2 years, they also won as well because of those small changes. So they changed their habits, and that eventually, got them to win, which is pretty amazing. You set that goal, you work on it a little by little, and you can win. You really can. You can be successful. Every day, we make so many decisions, large, small decisions. The goal really is to be the best decision maker, whether it's something as small as, should I, post this on Facebook or that on Facebook, or should I quit my job or not quit my job? There's different scales of decisions, but your goal is to be the best decision maker for yourself, and create those new habits and like that understanding of yourself and learning about yourself to be able to, get the best possible outcome. At the end of the day, you have yourself, right? Like, you have a bunch of people around you, yeah, but you do have yourself. You are the only you, and you're doing an awesome job at it, by the way. But you have to understand that being a good decision maker can get you to the best possible outcome for you, your business, and pretty much your entire life, if you're able to just be amazing at decision making. Our decision making, you can decide to change a habit, make a habit, that kind of thing. But our lives really do change when you change your habits. It brings, like, your new habits bring you a completely different lifestyle. If you want to do something, your goal is to, run a marathon. You're not just going to go run a marathon. You're going to make those mini habits to get yourself to that goal. The same with the biking team, the same with, chefs. You got to work your way up. Business leaders, you got to work your way up. So I'm going to give you some examples of mini habits. Doubling your water intake. I know I'm a big advocate for water. Drink water, please, everybody. If you haven't done so yet today, get a nice big cold glass of water and drink it. Thank you very much. Incorporating quiet time. Not necessarily meditating, because, maybe the thoughts in your head are a little bit scary sometimes, right? Incorporating quiet time, like no TV, no phone, no music playing or anything, just some quiet time. You never really realize how important that is, to just turn everything off and enjoy the environment around you. That's one of my all-time favorite things. Go out and look at the stars, take a walk to the end of the street. Just do it in silence. You hear so many different things. It can really change the way that, you view the world, you view yourself, and you view life. Writing in a journal is another good example. Writing gratitude statements, affirmation statements, little notes to yourself, little positive things. Write some poems, write stories, whatever you guys are into. It's a nice just way to get some word vomit out right on the page. Clear your brain, just get it all on the page. Alter your diet. Again, you don't want to go to an extreme. Like, say, I'm cutting out all grains. I'm going gluten-free, but your favorite food is macaroni and cheese. Yeah, that's not going to be easy, man. It's not going to be easy, and you're going to have nothing to eat, and you're going to be very sad. Again, just doing something small, one at a time. Learning something new, like I said, reading the news online, like getting notifications and reading articles, taking a new language. I'm a huge advocate for Duolingo. If anyone has never heard of Duolingo, it is this really cool little app with this owl, and you can learn pretty much any language that you want to. And they guide you through it, like these cute little exercises. And you're able to, set your little goals for yourself and, learn a whole bunch of different languages. Just something to keep your mind sharp. Getting out of your comfort zone. I don't know if anyone is an introvert out there, but that is a good mini goal or mini habit to have. Getting out of your comfort zone, talking to strangers. like not the ones that are trying to give you candy, but talking to strangers, just saying hi to somebody or holding the door for somebody, breaking the ice with somebody to get more comfortable. So, and that opens the door for your business too. Once you form that mini habit of, making a joke with somebody, telling somebody to have a good day, giving them a compliment, breaking the ice with people you don't know, and you never know where that's going to lead. That is about it I have for examples. Let's do exercise before to wrap up here. I listen to this one podcast every single morning. It's called Daily Motivation to Move. It is about 10 minutes long. This guy has been doing it for years, apparently. He posts it every single day, so he has his nice habit going on. It's about 10 minutes long, and he talks about all kinds of things. Stories, he shares, it's not cheesy. Don't get me wrong. It's not cheesy. It's just your little motivation in the morning. You listen to him talk about, I don't know. I can't even explain to you. It's just a really great podcast. So every week he challenges the listeners to take time to check in with themselves and ask yourself, how am I doing? What truly makes me happy? And what can I do to make myself happy, to make those things happen, make those goals happen? If you're a note taker, feel free to jot those down. It's a nice little exercise to do once a week for yourself. You can schedule that in for yourself, on a Saturday or Sunday, just do like a self-evaluation, a check-in, what have I done this week that makes me excited and happy? And what can I do to make myself happier this week, I guess. Make those kinds of things happen. Yeah. If you do have the opportunity, though, I would definitely check out that podcast, Daily Motivation to Move. I can also drop that in the chat box later, or you guys can send me a message if you guys are interested in hearing more about it. All right. So to wrap everything up for you guys, your life can be completely different in 1 year, 1 year's time from now, if you choose to make these small adjustments. You need to trust yourself. You need to go out there and learn as much as you can. You need to, try to be a positive person, an influential person, the best you that you can be. Honestly, that's the way to be the best you, to be the best boss, to award yourself the employee of the month award, which is my favorite. I love giving myself that award every month. I might even get myself a trophy or a plaque or something. I'm my favorite employee. So other than that, thank you guys for listening to me ramble on. I am going to close this slideshow out, and I'm going to see if anybody has any questions. If you guys are willing to unmute yourselves. Awesome. Hello, everyone. Does anyone have any questions about anything? Does anybody have anything they want to talk about? How's everyone feeling? I know I'm thirsty. I just talked for like 45 minutes. Jesus.
I like the mini habits. I like that idea.
Yeah, it seems more manageable that way, right?
Yeah. And I
Yeah.
also like the Duolingo thing. I didn't even think about that. That's a good one.
Yeah, Duolingo is fun. And it sends you the little notifications and stuff too. So that way you're able to, keep up with it. It kind of like secretly does your own habit for you.
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys like the little red things on your phone, the little notification things. Oh, I try to get rid of them as much as possible. I try. Oh goodness. Um, I like coming on here and chatting with you guys and sharing stuff that I've learned.